The driver championship obviously is
Oh yeah, heating up.
heating up.
Just like the heat in Texas is heating up.
I mean, we said it. This race was going to be an indicator on what kind of championship fight we had, and it didn't do nothing but get tighter. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Around the Circuit, Apollo Media's Formula One podcast. As always, I'm your boy Junior, joined by my boys Mark and Ivan. We are back for another race week. We just had race day yesterday.
Oh yeah!
And what an eventful weekend it was at COTA, Austin, Texas, the home of fucking excitement. Man.
Oh yeah!
What a weekend! I attended the race this weekend, so I had to come back with a few little knickknacks, if you know what I'm saying. Man, boys, it was a weekend was had. A weekend was fucking had. I was at the track Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love a good sprint weekend.
Yeah.
We'll have to start there. I love a good sprint weekend. And though I'm not wearing any of my Max gear because it's all dirty from the weekend, I haven't done laundry yet.
Yeah.
Got my new little Williams Carlos Sainz jersey. Had to show him some love. One, because I predicted him to be on the podium this week for the race, and he ended up not even finishing the race. But he did get a podium, a P3 finish in the sprint. Man, where to start other than just a dominant weekend from my boy Max, man.
Oh, yeah.
What a dominant weekend. How did y'all feel? I know, like I say, we all didn't get to go together, unfortunately, this year, but we had just a great racing weekend, man.
We really did. I mean, going into it, I missed the first practice like an idiot. But no, I mean, first practice happened, and then, we go into sprint qualifying. Me as a Ferrari fan, it was hard to see. We're trying to scrape by, getting into each and every single stage. Charles is fighting for a P10 start.
They did not look good in practice
Did not look good at all. And then, sprint race happens. And turn one, man, we keep saying it because turn one at COTA is...
Turn one is unforgiving. Some people have said it's probably the best turn one on the calendar. After this weekend, I think I'm inclined to agree. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, it's up there for turn ones for me. I mean, if anybody wanted more spice to an already spicy season, you already got it this weekend.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend overall. I mean, first off, for the people that don't like sprints, I'm sorry. It was a great weekend, but... for all those sprint race haters out there,
what, you don't like racing?
I know that's always my pushback to that. I'm like, look, man, I trust me. I understand you want to see practice, but seeing them actually go out there and race for more than one race actual is pretty darn fun, in my opinion.
And then it's reasonable times for us,
right?
And Junior's actually there. Like, come on,
heavenly.
You can't ask for anything better.
Heavenly. I mean, when you have that race going on at the same time with one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history, that mess was a wild, wild weekend going on, man.
I think it was just for me, like, there's just something about the shootout, like no pits, no nothing. Let's start and let's finish and let's see who's got what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just something about that style of this, that the sprints do. It's a short race. It's not a full, at COTA is a full 56 laps. The sprint was only 19, but it's just something about, like, no matter where we do the sprints, just from start to finish, we don't have to worry about a slow pit stop.
Yeah.
There's really no strategy. It's you get out there. Yeah, there's wherever hopefully you have a strong qualifying.
Yeah.
But you get out there and you just go wheel to wheel and you push.
Yeah.
You push for however many laps the sprint is. Like I said, at COTA was 19. And you see who wins. And so far, what is it? 13 out of the 19 races, sprints or something crazy like that? Or I don't know what the stat is, but the majority of them have gone to my boy Max.
Yeah.
He claimed it again. We ended up having a George P2 and a Carlos P3.
Yeah.
We kind of expected the Williams to be strong at this track.
Yeah.
The straights, it should have been a very good track for them, and Carlos was able to put it. Alex seems like he's still struggling.
Yeah.
Kind of like the second half of the season has completely flipped at what the first half of it was. Carlos was struggling, and Albon was getting all those points, and now it's Carlos, and Alex is struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the double DNF.
Yeah.
The McLarens came wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
Had a little action finally. Now, was it exactly them two fighting, going wheel to wheel? No, there was some, other parties involved with Alonso and Hulkenberg. We ended up having 4 cars go out in turn 1, lap 1, turn 1 of the sprint.
Lap 1, turn 1.
I was sitting at turn 11, so we watched it all happen from the screens that they have around the track. They have big screens. They have the audio. I had my little radio that they give at the track too, so you could hear the live audio. I did have a friend at turn 1 get it on video though. It was just great content. Great content. We expected it to happen. I mean, regardless of other parties were involved, we knew something was going to happen eventually.
I said it.
You said it?
I said during the race, but hey, this is a sprint race. So.
And we're still 5 more weekends to go. There's still 5 more weekends to go. We could fully expect to see it again.
Yeah.
Because I think if anything, the move Oscar was making whenever that all went down, it shows the desperation right now.
Yeah.
Oscar, there's one thing I can say watching practice, qualifying, the sprint, the race, watching all of it, Oscar did not look comfortable. And I don't know if it's the pressure is finally getting to him or the car is just struggling. It was hot. I mean, it was hot. The temperatures on the track were up and down all day. I mean, in the evenings it did get cooler. So when they qualified for the actual race, it did cool off a little bit. But it was a very hot weekend in Austin. Yeah. Very hot. Saturday, we were out there baking. So you can only imagine, I know Friday I sat at turn 19. You could smell the rubber. And it was just like, you're there. But it was hot. The sun was just beaming. There was no cloud cover almost all weekend. That track ramped up very fast. Yeah. The track ramped up very fast. And we saw it in the sprint. We saw it in the race. Tires were an issue. Yeah. I don't know if that's what it is, but Oscar just didn't look strong all weekend at all.
No, I mean, it's just like you just say, you see that movie, you could see it as being like desperate. You look at his on board, and if you look just forward and you see Max and Lando right there, you could see how turning in, maybe but dude, this is turn 1 at COTA, where literally nearly 5 cars can fit. Yeah, 4 to 5 cars can fit in there. You don't make that move. You don't say, I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
But the thing is, he had a great start off the jump.
If he sticks with it, follows behind, I'm fully confident that Oscar, he probably could have pulled out an overtake.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him for being aggressive. Yeah. I mean, yes, it did not pay off. Yeah. I don't blame him for being aggressive because I think part of it is the time to be aggressive. Yeah, make your move. He looks in his mirror and he's got Hulk who had a great sprint qualifying. And should have had a great finish, but had a great sprint qualifying. Hulk's in his mirror, and Oscar's making a move on Lando. Hulk's making a move on Oscar. Alonso's making a move on Hulk, who jumped from the back all the way up. It was just chaos at that turn 1. Yeah. And I think the funniest onboard I saw was Charles's, and I told y'all it looked like that scene on Cars when Lightning McQueen is just weaving through all the crashes. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I don't know. It was just exciting. I mean, that was 8 points that Max didn't exactly expect to get from the sprint alone, with both of them DNF, that he gained on the championship before the actual Grand Prix even started. Consequential. I don't know. And then I think it's worth noting Stroll was doing Stroll things in the sprint and just completely took out Ocon. Watching the replay, I still don't know what he was trying to do there.
It literally looked like he was a missile and he just locked on.
Yeah, just locked on and then off he went.
Yeah, going back to the turn 1 incident, I honestly think that the switchback was the right move, just not at that time. Yeah. Just don't pull it there. Yeah. But also in Oscar's defense, there's no way he could have known that on the inside of the corner, he's probably expecting Hulk to scoot over more, that there is a Fernando Alonso that has suddenly shot up like 6 places. Yeah. That is not going to give Hulk any space. It is actually himself trying to make the wide turn out too. So it was just to me, it was a racing incident.
It was It
was a racing incident, but at the same time, that's the difference between having experience being in a championship fight compared to others. You've got to know when to make that switchback move and when not to. And I think that's what they're learning at McLaren the hard way right now. Is that, I mean, look at Carlos and Charles, for example. Both of those on the lap 1, turn 1 incidences, they go around the outside. They were like, I'm staying clear of y'all. Mm-hmm. I know what's going to go on in here. And that's how both of them were able to move up so well in their races. McLaren has definitely got some figuring out to do. Because at least in my opinion, they are no longer the fastest car anymore. That last upgrade that Red Bull put on.
Well, here's the thing. I think they have more upgrades coming. They haven't said when.
Yeah.
But I think they have at least one more upgrade to put on that car for Max.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing. It's like
we talked about it, how
they were sacrificing some of 2026
for this car, and it looks like so far it is working.
Yeah.
So hey, man.
And who was it? Crofty, I think, that said after the sprint, and they said he's done it again, and they compared Max to the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Bro, he's
yes.
I think what says a lot is his comments post race, not post sprint. It's post race. You can see that Max is like a shark smelling blood in the water right now. He won't come out and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go win this," but he's like, "Well, there's a chance now.
all right.
It's there.
Yeah,
let's keep going and see what happens." He something about right now. He's just locked in.
Yeah.
He's locked in on another level,
especially compared to like the middle of the season or earlier this season. Yeah. It looked like he was chill, calm. Like he was like he accepted like, okay, I'm probably not gonna win this. Now it's just like, okay, like
let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
And so we go into this, we finish a sprint. Sprint was Saturday, and then that evening was quali. For me, watching in person, we see him put in a lap, and he just put in a monster lap. And I was like, going into Q3, he puts that monster lap in, and I was like, okay, the track is ramping up. They're getting ready to go. They all do their in lap. They change, they get ready, they queue up, and then they go out there for their second lap, and he comes out late. He's last, and I was like. And I'm listening to the radio, and I'm watching him on the screen, and I'm like, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. And he didn't make it.
No.
Didn't make it. Everybody else was able to put a second lap in, and he still dropped 3/10 on their head.
Yeah. Insane.
Putting 3/10 off one push lap in Q3 on the McLarens right now, I don't know. It's just, he does love the track, and we talked about this leading into this weekend on last week's episode. He loves this track. It's a great track for racing. Charles even talked about it post-race.
And Lando was like, I wish it was easier.
Yeah, I wish it was easier. But to see him just put together the strength, like that kind of lap, and not even have to do a lap 2, and they didn't even get close to him. 3/10 isn't a lot of time unless you're in an F1 car on a track. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. I was just sitting there like, oh my God, like this is what I'm witnessing right now.
And then Charles put qualifying. Dude, we went from sprint qualifying to like trying to drag ourselves into Q3.
Yeah.
And we have Charles battling in the top 3 for the regular race.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
Even Lewis looked kind of strong in qualifying. Like there was something, I'm telling you, whatever data they got from the sprint and whatever small changes they made going into qualifying for the race worked for Ferrari.
It worked.
And they just need to keep that mentality up still.
Yeah. We need to shout out Ferrari for real because, I know all of us here at the table were dreading what the Ferrari weekend was going to look like with all the temperatures, and somehow, some way, they found a way.
Ferrari and Mercedes are not going to do anything.
Yeah, we all said it. We didn't expect them to do anything this weekend.
No, somehow both of them found a way to.
And they did. Yeah, we had a Charles podium. I'll give Charles this. He fought his ass off. He defended with everything he had. Couldn't hold on to P2, but he did get the podium. Lando took P2. But Lewis was right there. P4. Now there was a little bit of a gap, and he seemed to be struggling with his tires. I chalked up a lot of the struggles with the tires just to the heat.
Yeah.
Race day was hot, and it was very windy too. Comparing Saturday to Sunday, Sunday was very windy.
That was the main thing they were talking about before the race even happened. Yeah, like the wind.
There was a breeze here and there on Saturday, but we walked out to the track Sunday for the race, and it was just windy, and it was a constant just breeze and wind blowing almost the whole race.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was hot, but there was a breeze, so you could tell the difference just from day to day, and it affected them in the long run because we've seen how much they struggled as far as tire wise, at least. Anyways,
but we were going into that race, and then watching all the cars get on track, and then I see Charles is put on softs, not even new, old used softs. Like what was it, 2 to 3 laps from qualifying, used softs. Yeah. And I was just like, okay. Like, he's like one of the only 3 cars to saw us off.
Yeah. And I will say he was a tire whisperer in those things, man. As much as he had to defend on that first stint off of
He made
Lando,
those softs last a long time while keeping very Lando behind.
Yes. Like
just...
He earned that driver of the day this weekend.
Absolutely.
He did everything he could to just get to where he. I mean, yeah, it was. You look at it in the grand scheme of things. He started P2, finished He started P3. Finished P3. He almost had a P2, but couldn't exactly hold on to it. It was the McLaren. The McLaren's still faster than Ferrari at the end of the day. But I mean, he did everything right, I think, in my opinion.
Such a great job. Just reminding the fans again who Charles is, like who he is.
Absolutely. Like, and as a Max fan, like there's something about a Max and Charles podium that just always hits.
It's so good. Dude, I was just, the whole time when I was watching, I was just like, Lando's going to get past here. Yeah. Lando, he has to. With DRS, like going down that main straightaway, I'm like, he has to. There's no way. Each time, Charles was finding a way to keep Lando behind, and I was just like, let's go.
Sitting at turn 11, it was funny because you see them coming into that turn, and you could see Lando doing everything he could to stay close. So when they came out of that hairpin turn, he would catch that, down that back straight, use the DRS to try to catch up to him as close as possible. And then going into turn 12, that's a huge overtaking spot. And I think turn 12 is where Lando ended up passing Charles both times.
Yeah.
Once before they pitted, and then once. Yeah. But that alone, Charles lasting that long and being able to pit and still come out ahead.
Yeah.
And gain the position to where Lando once again had to fight and earn that spot back and still make his tires last to the end of the race is just, I got a new Ferrari shirt at the track this weekend, and I almost wore it just as like a tip of the hat to Charles for doing what he did, because in him doing what he did, at one point, Max had like a 10, 11 second gap.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it would be funny. You'd see him coming out of turn 10, coming all the way down to turn 11. He would make the turn and be like halfway down the straight. And then here would come Charles and Lando. Just watching it in real time, the gap was just nuts.
Yeah.
There was nothing. There was nothing that Lando could do about it.
No.
It was nothing he could do about it. We got by the time lap 20, 25, I seen people leaving. And I was like, I know traffic is bad leaving here, but dang, something about a Max win scares people away, I guess.
It's just like, he's inevitable. Like everybody knows, it's like, well, even if a safety car does come out, he's not going to give up first place easily. So I mean, I guess probably that's why they.
And even then, we did get the virtual safety car.
Yeah.
Because shout out Carlos, he had a strong qualifying, and he made that great move on Bierman to gain a position, and then he tried to make the same move on Kimi, and he just didn't expect. Kimi didn't see him. Carlos didn't expect Kimi to slam the door as fast as he did, and then boom, they touched.
5-place penalty for Mexico for him now.
Is it? Is that what it is? I didn't hear what the repercussions were afterwards.
2 penalty points on his license and
5-place grids for Mexico.
Yeah,
that sucks. That's unfortunate. I mean,
sucks, but I mean, you look at the replay and it's
it was his fault. He tried to squeeze it. I don't think Kimi ever saw him coming in and making that dive.
Yeah,
but I mean, at the start of the race, they were praising this almost the same move when he passed Bierman.
Yeah.
So you see the opportunity, you take it again. Didn't work out.
That's the part that frustrates me with the F1 passing rules, man.
I think the unfortunate thing is that it ruined Kimi's race too.
Yeah.
Because Kimi he fought back, but he still ended up finishing outside the points. So at the end of the day,
you kind of think back to Behrman a week ago, got pushed off track. Oh no, was it in the sprint? He got pushed off track and he got a 10-second penalty a 10-second penalty added on as well.
Yeah, he gained. He left the track and gained an advantage.
Yeah, left the track and gained an advantage because he couldn't stay on track because
10 seconds was excessive for that though.
Very excessive.
Dude, the FIA hates Ollie Behrman for no reason. Also, I gotta bring up the incident between him. Was it him and Yuki? And Yuki moved under braking.
Yes.
And hit Ollie, and there was it wasn't even noted at all. And I'm just sitting here like, I don't care if Yuki doesn't get, and just give him a warning, or even just note it, note it, hey, we're looking at it. No, nothing. I'm like, do you hate my guy Ollie? What is going on?
Ollie had a rough weekend. He still finished in the points, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he still finished in the points. So not that rough, but yeah. I mean, he did have his moments throughout the race with other drivers, unfortunately, that didn't exactly work out with him either, both sprint and race.
Shout out Yuki, though.
Shout out Yuki. That's what I was about to say. You brought up Yuki. Shout out Yuki. He didn't exactly have a strong qualifying in either the race or the sprint.
Yeah.
But in both races, from the start, shot up like a rocket, gained a few positions, and then held his pace, and finished in points on both races.
That's
all we've been asking from Yuki all season is a weekend like we got from him this weekend.
Yeah.
Because not only has he, one, helped his confidence, one, the second car looks a little bit stronger with him behind the wheel like that, and two, the Constructors' Championship with Max winning just got a little bit tighter. We were talking about it before we started. Was it 10 points separates P2, P3, and P4?
Mercedes has 341, Ferrari has 334, and Red Bull has 331.
It's a 3 point between third and fourth, and 10 points between second and fourth.
It is coming down to the wire. Not only the Drivers' Championship, but that battle for second place in the Constructors.
It's coming. I think this is the most excitement we've had going into the bottom 5 races in a while. 2021 probably. It was probably the last time we had this much excitement. Last year was a little, because Lando was kind of close.
Yeah, and then obviously we had Ferrari and McLaren.
Yeah, Ferrari and McLaren for the constructors went into the last race, but man, just it's fun to have multiple, not necessarily the constructors championship, but constructors placements in the fight and the championship standings, and then the driver championship obviously is.
Oh yeah. Heating up.
Just
like the heat in Texas is heating up.
I mean, we said it. This race was going to be an indicator on what kind of championship fight we had, and it didn't do nothing but get tighter.
You even got Racing Bulls being about to be passed by Aston Martin right now if they don't be careful. Fernando's
what is that, sixth
place, for
because Williams is still standing put in 5th for now, right?
Williams is pretty much the only team that I say this again for the 4th time, besides last place, that's got their spot locked up. Williams has got that 5th place locked up pretty darn well. It would take a miracle for another team to catch up.
And that's a testament just to kind of to come from last and going 5 races into the rest of the season, pretty much guaranteed 5th place in the standing. That's just a testament to what we've said all season. Yeah. Shout out my boys. Williams is back, Oh,
yeah.
It's a testament to what we've been saying all season. Carlos, Alex, and James over there, plus the whole engineering team and everybody on that on Williams, they've turned it around. It's just been a complete 180, and you can only hope going into the new regs that they continue to just keep moving forward like that, because they're fun drivers to watch. I'm a Carlos guy. I love to see it, and it's just you can't hate James Vowles, man. He's a great guy.
Just it's 2 easy drivers to root for. Dude, they're just so easy to root for, man. Another easy guy to root for is Nico Hulkenberg, P8. Points again. I had
the same notes as you. Points again for the Hulk. He probably should have had points in the sprint too if it wasn't for the fiasco at turn 1.
Yeah.
But a strong weekend. Like I said, if it wasn't for that fiasco at turn 1, he finishes in the points in both. And he's looking just like Yuki, strong finish in both races. And that's what, especially in a kick Sauber, that's all you can ask for.
Dude, I say it over and over again. I can't wait till next year they're in their Audi.
Yeah.
Him and Gabby.
It's going to be
I'm excited
to watch
see
for sure.
That growth that they can do at that team.
Yeah.
But, so we going to talk about Oscar?
We're going to talk about Oscar, but first I want to talk to Ivan about his
oh, Lord.
His team. We got a couple new little collections. We got a little Alpine car for Ivan.
I see.
Right here in front. Colapinto is still fighting for his seat, essentially.
Yes.
It's as long as he has good weekends to finish out the season, it's pretty much he's going to be in that second seat.
Pretty sure as long as he doesn't DNF.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. It seems like they just want the consistency. As long as they can get strong finishes. Do we really blame Colapinto for doing what he did? Yes, he completely ignored team orders, but the kid's fighting for his career right now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, yes, it's only P17. Yes, it means nothing. And yes, if y'all touch and y'all both DNF, now you're costing the team money. But at the end of the day, do you want him to show what he can do, even if it's against his own teammate with 5 races left, or do you want him to just follow team orders and sit behind the slower car?
I don't blame him at all as a racer for going after the move.
Yeah.
But also from a team aspect, when you're fighting for your job and you don't obey the orders that the team gives you,
maybe don't piss off your boss.
Don't piss
a career aspect.
Maybe don't try to do that, because that's legitimately the way Ocon got kicked out of the team last time.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting though too. We've seen plenty of drivers. Yes, maybe they're fighting for championships and stuff. But how many times over the years in F1 have we seen drivers just completely ignore team orders quite a bit. So
True. I mean, I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm not mad at the move. It's just, it just goes to a recap of the whole season in general for Alpine. I just wish it was for a better position.
Yeah.
Seeing them fight like that for 17th was just like them fighting over a sandwich that had been out of the fridge for like 2 days. There wasn't no use in fighting for that, man.
Yeah.
Either one of y'all could have had that mess, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Gasly was a little bit thrown off. And the one thing I will say about Gasly, as you know, an Alpine fan and watching him since his RB career, if that man has any way feels slighted at all, he will fight you to the death.
Yeah.
And that's what he started trying to do. He's like, hold up now. I heard the orders too, man.
Yeah.
I ain't going to let this slip right now. So, I mean, Colapinto, I'm sure after the race talked it out and he was like, look, man, you got to understand, Pierre's been in that position before when he was at Red Bull fighting for his job to try to stay in F1. So he knows the position that he's coming from, but he's probably telling him, look, man, just don't be as aggressive as that.
Yeah.
And I mean, shout out also to look at the positives for Alpine this weekend. Just let that yellow start overtaking the car a little bit more, guys. We're this close to getting back to that black and yellow days of Renault. Come on, just go full out with the black and yellow.
I think it was cool. As a fan, and being able to just be there and see just all the special liveries too. I had to note that.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many special liveries this weekend.
Yeah.
It was just. I was a huge fan of V-Carbs, the Racing Bulls, Baby Bulls, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
That's what my buddy started calling them this weekend, the Baby Bulls. I think it was just there's something about their livery this weekend was just popped for me. I thought it was cool. And Williams' livery this weekend was dope.
Dude,
I thought theirs was
so
really
good.
good.
Can we make that the regular one?
Honestly, I loved that. I love that.
I love the shout out to it's the Juan Pablo Montoya era. You're in America, obviously an
Yeah.
IndyCar driver and Formula One driver. But it just brought me back to like the old BMW cars too, when BMW was an F1 too. It was just good to see all these teams, oddly enough, do it at Austin. But that just shows you how much respect they have for that track. That they're like, no, we want to do it at a fun track. Like, let's do it here.
And Williams actually had a fan zone downtown Austin. I got there a little late, so I missed it. They closed right before I got there. But I mean, it was a very open like concept, so you could still see a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Took a couple pictures. Like the whole theme of the fan zone was all themed off that livery. Like they had a like car where you could do like the front half of a car where you could do like a pit stop challenge. The livery was that color. They had a car sitting in the middle of the fan zone. Like everything was themed off that color scheme, and it just looked amazing. Like it was just corner of just blue glowing out there in downtown Austin. It was really cool to see. The championship fight has gotten tight. We said that. And I think not only is it because Max has just found this whatever second win, this newly whatever they did to the car worked. It could be 100 different things. At the end of the day, Max is locked the fuck in and he's closed his gap. Since Zandvoort, where he was 104 points off, he's closed the gap, and now he's only 40 points away. Like I said, he's just locked in. But you also got to kind of know, and I said it just like not too long ago, Oscar looks shook. Oscar doesn't look confident. He struggled with the car all weekend. He looked uncomfortable. I got to give my props to Lando because he's at least showing a little bit of a fight. At least this weekend. Let's phrase that. Things can change, obviously, going into Mexico this coming up weekend. But in Austin alone, Lando showed 100 times more fight than Oscar did. Yeah. I don't know if it was just something off with the car after the DNF. You know, there was talks where they might not even had the cars ready for qualifying on Saturday. Yeah. And they happened to get them ready right like last second. Is Oscar going to choke this away? We gave him props all season about how like he seemed like he had that dog in him. He seemed like he was the stronger mentally. He seemed like he was the better driver skill wise. And at least coming out of Austin, it looked like that wasn't him. Like that wasn't the Oscar we've seen all season.
It seems like the last couple of races he's been off.
Yeah.
But this race it seemed like
I think Baku was
Baku was definitely the starting point of like him. We can see it.
Yeah.
Like maybe before it was starting to get to it, but now we can see it and it's affecting him on track. So, I mean, me and Ivan were talking about it before the race. There was definitely something maybe wrong with the car during the race.
Yeah, like suspension or something had to.
But I mean, it didn't seem like he was going to gain on Lewis at all during the race until the end when Lewis had that problem. I don't even remember what it was. Of course, he has another problem. but
It's neither here nor there.
yeah, it's tough to see after we praised him so much during the season, but it's understandable if it is like mentally like affecting him. But yeah, he has to lock back in because
40
like you
points
said,
is
not only it's Max, now Lando. If Lando doesn't DNF Gehenna, if Lando doesn't DNF in Zandvoort, he's ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's how bad, like, Lando has gotten in his own way many times.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
if this were anybody else, like, you're losing the championship right now.
and I will touch on it too, on Max's side. How close is the championship if Max doesn't have his crash out in where was it? Was it Canada?
In Spain. Yeah, in Spain. I'm telling you.
I mean, granted, it wouldn't have been because he was only going to finish like P5, P4 that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up finishing P10 and got like 1 point or something, or even outside the points.
I think he finished outside the points that
so
weekend.
He lost 6 points probably, and maybe a little bit more, somewhere between like 6 to 10 points that weekend.
Yeah.
It could be even tighter.
Yeah.
We've never seen a comeback like this before. I mean,
yeah, never. I think for me, I was talking with Mark about this. This season is totally turned into the Braun year. It is totally, completely turned into that year where Braun opened up the season, looked like world beaters. There's nobody going to catch up to their double diffuser that they came up with. And as the season went along, ironically, former world champion from Red Bull started getting a hot streak going in Sebastian Vettel at that time and found a way to catch up. And it wasn't until the only good thing that's the saving grace for McLaren right now, it was a little too late for Red Bull that year. Now this year, it's a lot closer than what it was at that point. But I do feel like McLaren, that's why I said earlier, I feel like they've been caught up to development-wise.
Driving Jensen Button.
Yeah, exactly. And it was Jensen Button who went on to win that championship. Yeah. So everything for me is just lining up exactly like that season. You even had a Rubens Barrichello, who was a driver that a lot of people don't, have him in their top echelon, but he's still a really good driver. Same thing like with McLaren. You've got two drivers that aren't on the top echelon, but they're still considered two of the best on the grid right now. I think from Oscar, though, going back to him, I think the team politics thing has really started messing with his head because I really do feel like in his head, he's like, if they could only just tell my team to help us win the championship right now, which they can't because obviously it's too close of a fight. But it also goes back to the old adage, if it's easier being the hunter than it is the hunted. Yeah. And I do feel like that was starting to get to him the past couple weeks. I mean, I still have faith that he's still going to pull off one of these, a race win eventually. I do think he gets another one like Qatar. It could be a race weekend, but going into a weekend where now you have Max's probably low-key his best track on the Formula One calendar in Mexico. I think one of the tracks he's won at the most out of any other track on the calendar.
Here's the deal. You got Mexico, and right after that, you got Brazil.
Yeah.
You got two very strong tracks for Max coming back-to-back.
Yeah.
We're looking at possibly going into Abu Dhabi, a three-way fight for the championship right now. The gap between, like I said, Max has gained 64 points since Zandvoort. That's 4 races.
Yeah.
With 5 races to go, it's very possible Max takes the lead. Like one bad weekend between the McLarens again, and not a sprint race, but in an actual fucking race. And Max is there.
Literally one DNF from either of them.
Yeah.
And Max is back into second.
He's got a 26-point gap between Max and Lando for second, and then a 40-point gap between Max and Oscar for first.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say
he smells blood. Smells blood.
Is to watch out because I think, ironically, obviously, the McLarens and Red Bulls with Max are going to fight it out.
George playing spoiler.
Oh, I'm thinking about Kimi. I'm thinking about Kimi, too.
Here's the deal. Max was a fastest lap away from a grand slam this weekend.
Yes.
A clean sweep
Nobody's
in
perfect.
Austin.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Who got fastest lap in Austin? Kimi. That's 2, Kimi. That's 2.
Kimi's been on,
Imagine if Kimi doesn't take him out in Austria.
Yep,
Where's this championship fight?
Yeah.
Kimi took him out in Austria, and he took fastest lap from him in Austin for the Grand Slam.
And he took out Charles and Zandvoort.
Yeah.
Kimi has taken out a
Kimi,
couple of drivers.
Kimi, if you want to take out anybody,
Oscar,
I got one more job for you.
One more job for you.
Mercedes has been doing a heck of a job to make sure they play defense for McLaren, it seems like. And it's not on purpose. I can guarantee you that.
Here we go, Kimi. We need you to go ahead and visit our friends Lando and Oscar one time. One time for the one time.
One time.
We talked about it. Think about those 2 incidences. George in Spain and then the Kimi incident. How many points right there alone?
30 points.
That's
At
that's
least,
the gap
if
right
not,
there.
30, 40. I mean, that's the gap right there.
Yeah, that's the gap right there that they've held Max back this season so far.
Yeah,
It's insane.
So the question I'm going to ask y'all before we get into talking about Mexico, because that is this weekend, so we got to give our predictions. Who wins the championship? Is 5 possible? It's a long. We've never seen a comeback. We got 5 races left. I got to ask the question with it being as small of a gap as it is right now. When coming out of Zandvoort, it was 104 points. Everybody said there's no way it's fucking happening. Max has won 3 of the last 5 races, and in the 2 races he didn't win, he was P2.
As much as I would like to say number 5 is going to happen, I just think somehow during these last 5 races, Oscar is going to find it.
It's just going to be a strong weekend from McLaren, and one strong weekend from McLaren.
Yeah, one strong weekend in a way,
and it could shut it down for sure.
And Oscar is going to either run away with it or like get it in one of the last 3 races. But I would love to see either Lando or Max get into it and like make it at least till the last race.
Yeah, I want to go into Abu Dhabi for one last race to decide it.
Yeah, that's literally the dream.
Ivan,
I'm gonna agree with Mark, but I'm gonna use my history that I've been bringing up. It took till the 4th to last race or 5th to last race for Jenson Button to get back on the podium again. And that point standings was enough to get him to win the championship by only 9 points at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly what's going to happen this year. I think somehow, some way, I don't know if he wins another race this year. If it is, it's going to be in Qatar, if I had to take a guess. But there's going to be a race this year where he finishes second, where Oscar wins or finishes second, and Max isn't at least the first place finisher. Because that's the thing where that's the only thing that I think that's helping McLaren right now is that they've got 2 fighting against 1. Now, you have 1 car that's only doing upgrades compared to your car, so that's going to be the end factor. But I do think he finds a way to hold on, but I will say none of these drivers can afford a DNF.
Yeah.
And even none of them. I mean, and that's what Mercedes and Ferrari are kind of like inching at. They're like, we can be super aggressive. We don't care.
Yeah.
We're just fighting for our points.
That's where it comes into is Mercedes still looks like they have a strong car.
Yes.
I mean, we see them playing spoiler all season randomly. It could very well happen, but here's the deal. Who does Mercedes hurt more if they play spoiler and Max is still finishing ahead of the Mercedes?
I mean, even Charles, like the broadcast was saying, I don't remember exactly who said it, that when Charles and Lando were fighting, they're like, Charles doesn't have a title to fight for. Lando does. Like,
and look at the swing. I mean, it gave Max another 7 points on top of Lando, because by the time Lando passed, there was no way he's catching Max. Yeah. I don't know if it happens. I'm not going to say it's going to. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to be the one to say it. I will say, though, we've never seen a comeback like that happen. And with 40 points left, a 40-point gap with 5 races to go and at least 2 more sprints?
Yeah, 2 more sprints.
Qatar and Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 more sprints to go, 5 more races. I think if any driver was ever going to close a 40-point gap, is Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
And I might be a little bit biased, being the diehard Max fan that I am.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It's worth noting that
bit.
He's one of the best we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. Since Lewis.
Which Lewis hasn't.
He hasn't been at his top of his game since 21.
Since 21. So it's worth noting. You know what I mean? It's crazy to see. I'm excited. Like, I just don't know. I have the hopium.
We have
I just don't.
Fight.
It's hard to say.
The
anything can happen. Yeah.
That we didn't have at the beginning and middle of the season.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we went into the summer break, and what was I saying? I'm going to live and die by Max wins.
Yeah.
I've been living for at least 3 of the last 5, and I've been happy with P2s. So
yeah. I've been happy with this one P3.
I mean, we were happy with a Charles podium this weekend too.
You have to go back and look at the run times of these episodes, and as Max started winning more, the run time starts getting longer, probably.
I'd probably get shorter because I'm not crashing out.
Exactly. Honestly, true, probably so.
So 5 races left. We are back to back this week. We have Mexico coming up. It's a strong track for Max. Max looks strong. The McLarens might be faltering a little bit. Max still has at least 1 more upgrade, is what the rumor is coming. We don't know when he's going to get it.
Yeah.
I could probably see it coming in Brazil or Qatar. I think Mexico is going to be another good track for him with where he's at, but who knows? Last year, Carlos won. Lando took P2.
And I'll say it before anybody else
Charles
does, the last Ferrari win.
P2.
In this.
It was the last Ferrari win.
Knew that was going to come up.
Carlos has the last Ferrari win.
I'm not mad. I love Carlos.
Oh no, I know you're not mad at that. It's just
It's just worth noting.
I'm just preparing you. You're gonna hear that a lot this weekend on the broadcast.
Max didn't have a strong finish last year because he had a couple run-ins with Lando. When he had the run-in in Austin with Lando last year, Lando got the penalty. Lando came back strong. They pushed and shoved. Max ended up with like 2 10-second penalties.
I was gonna say run-offs, not run-ins.
And at that point, he said, "Fuck it, I got 20 seconds. Let's make it 30." Just being a smartass. He ended up finishing, I think, like P6 by the end of it after all the penalties. So, what do we know coming into? You know what I mean? What do we see coming into Mexico?
Are we doing predictions?
I just want to say, like, what are your thoughts going into the race?
I mean, really, not much. I mean, for Ferrari, I'm hoping that maybe you can get something decent, like same out of this race in qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
But, for Max and the McLarens, I mean, obviously, if you're in the McLarens, you're hoping that you can bounce back sooner than later.
Yeah.
But I think
especially Oscar.
I'm thinking / hoping that they're gonna still kind of struggle. I think maybe Lando will do better. I don't know. I'm just man. I have no idea. This is tough, man. This is tough.
This is gonna be a weekend that, like, I know he said it this weekend with the temperatures and everything. But temperature is one thing. Elevation is a whole different game. You're going to see a different type of top 10, I'll say, this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting still a lot from Williams. I mean, even though I know he had a grid penalty, Alex still finished 6th in the sprint and still did pretty darn good for this weekend.
Yeah, they had a double point finish for the sprint.
Yeah, they've been really darn good and consistent the past couple weeks. I know Albon's lost to him. This would be a great spot for him to come back. Ferrari, I know, would love to win another race, obviously, but repeat as winners at Mexico.
Yeah.
And for the championship battle, the thing I look forward to most is, if you thought turn 1 in Austin was crazy, them runoffs over there in Mexico are no joke either. We saw it last year.
Yeah.
Like, if you think people weren't sharing space, they're not.
We're gonna get some good. We're gonna get some good wheel-to-wheel action again this week, because it's another just great track for racing, and hopefully it's not easy for Lando like Austin wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get to it, I also want to say, Cadillac, will you please do something at one of these races?
You're
at Mexico this weekend.
There was
Come
some
on.
of the marshals handing out little hand Cadillac hand. They weren't like F1 made, but they were little hand flags with the Cadillac symbol on them. You could tell people wanted it.
Yeah,
people wanted something there this past weekend. But there was just nothing. I need Cadillac to do something. I mean, it's Checo's home.
Yeah.
I'm looking at going to Mexico City next year.
Yeah.
Instead of COTA. So who knows? But yeah, man, it's gonna be an exciting race. I think like I said, we're gonna get good wheel to wheel action. Words are hard. And then like Ivan said, the elevation is gonna play a role. It usually always does. We'll jump right into it. I'm not even going to waste any time. We'll jump right into our predictions, because there's not much to really say other than, hey, the fight is on. 40 points separates first and third. So the fight is on. McLaren and especially Oscar needs to step up, and Max just needs to keep doing what he's doing. And who knows? Could be number 5 or it could be number 1 for one of them. At this point, it's still Oscar's to lose, I think.
Yeah.
And if he just keeps cracking under pressure, it's going to get worse for him. So we'll get into our predictions. I'll kick it off. I think it's going to be I'm torn. It's either going to be a Lando or a Charles win. I think Ferrari is still going to stay strong. They looked good in Austin. Maybe not practice, and they might have struggled a little bit in qualifying for this. But, I mean, they didn't look bad in the race.
No, they really didn't.
Charles, P3, P4, when we're used to seeing what, P6, P7, P8, P9, they didn't look bad. I think this track is going to do them well. I think Lando is feeling it, and I think he knows Oscar's kind of cracking under the pressure. and it's helping boost Lando's. Lando looked more confident than Oscar this weekend. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I will say Lando still says his little remarks like he wants to be the underdog really bad. It almost seems like, and yeah, they might not have the fastest car anymore, depending on how good Max keeps going, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say it's going to be a strong performance from Lando. I think Oscar still needs to fix his mentality if that's what it is that's holding him back. So we'll say my predictions going into Mexico City is going to be a Charles win. He's going to get the win for Ferrari again. Charles win, Lando P2, Oscar P3.
Okay.
And then driver of the day will be Charles again because he did get it in Austin.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to predict. Maybe I'm wrong and Max keeps doing what he's doing. But one of these races, McLaren's going to bounce back, and it has to be sooner than later. And then Ferrari just looked strong in Austin, and it gives me hope for them in Mexico City.
For me, just in my head, if Max is able to go into qualifying, put up a good lap, and get P1, and gets off, and in turn 1 he's able to keep that lead, I think he can pull it off again and just leave and just disappear.
Okay.
So I think I hope Max will win again, and P2 will go Lando. P3 I'm torn.
Say it.
I
Say it.
want to go Lewis.
Okay. Yes, I knew you were going there.
I want to go Lewis
with
how Ferrari looked this last race. I want to be delusional, and I want to say this is where Lewis can get his first podium. This will be a great place for Lewis to get his first podium in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not Lewis, I think it's Oscar, or Oscar's going to be right behind him, because obviously Oscar is still a great driver and he's going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think P1 Max, P2 Lando, and then hopefully Lewis with his first podium for Ferrari.
That's pretty darn good.
I like it.
As much as I don't want to say this, I'll go with Max P1. He just has such a history here at this track of doing well. P2, I want to go with Oscar, and then P3 Lando. Now, that's what my head is telling me. What my heart is telling me, 2 of the top 3 aren't going to make it through turn 1. That's what I wanted to say, but I can't predict that just because I need to keep the points going. But I would say I think something crazy is going to happen. So for my driver of the day, I'll go Carlos Sainz with the grid penalty, able to move his way up there and maybe get a P5 or P4 this weekend.
Okay.
I do expect a lot from them this weekend. I didn't say it,
but obviously Lewis will be driver of the day.
That's my prediction. But honestly, it's been too quiet amongst the top 3. With them interacting with each other. I know we had the McLaren incident a couple weeks ago, but all 3 of them together, turn 1 going into Mexico. We already had it last year with Lando and Max. Something's going to happen. I just can't pinpoint it yet, but I have a feeling something's going to happen.
We'll see. Them. It's going to be another good week, a good start time for us here in Houston. Another great afternoon race where we don't have to wake up super early and can kind of enjoy it. Maybe step out somewhere to go watch it with some friends. Maybe we'll get together, boys, and watch it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's race week in Mexico. Austin was a blast. I hope anybody who went had just as much fun as I did. Let's get ready for Mexico. It's always a good race to watch. I love Mexico City, and like I said, I hope to be there next year for Checo's home return on the grid. Shout out our sponsors, Big City Wing, Houston Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint, my Wing Joint, your Wing Joint. Go to one of their 14 locations, enjoy some good wings, enjoy some good burgers, drinks. They got it all. It's great food. And shout out Zing Zang, Zang responsibly, and America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow us on all our socials, drop your predictions in the comments, and we'll be back next week to recap Mexico, because I think we have a week off between Mexico and Brazil. So we'll be back to recap Mexico next week. We'll see y'all then. We're out of here. Peace.